Hello guys, and today we're doing another video on Age of Imprisonment because I just love Zelda that much. We're rocking the same background as we did in the other video, which if you guys haven't saw that yet, then you can. It should be called Zelda Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment weapons and possible weapons and attacks. That's what that video is called, and it's not out yet, but it will be a premiere today at 6:41 p.m. for anyone who does want to watch that. And then when this video comes out, it's gonna come out the same day as here, so it's gonna be on September 7th, and it's gonna come out on 6:47 p.m. And then those are my two Zelda videos, and I also might try and make a ghost hunting video today, so if you viewers might enjoy that as well. But anyway, let's get into the video. This video is going to be about the storyline of Age of Imprisonment and events. So the thing I always do, don't mind all this, don't mind any of this, the thing I always do is rewatch the trailers. So let me just do, let's rewatch the trailers for the millionth time. But this time, instead of analyzing weapons or analyzing the trailer itself, we are gonna be analyzing the events that take place, the area they're at, and stuff like that. So let's get right into it.
When the Zonai, who descended from the heavens, joined hands with the Hylians, who dwelled on the surface, their union led to a great and prosperous kingdom. But in time, a terrible evil arose. A war was fought to
So we see here, this is kind of where Zelda might have awoken up in one of her memories from Tears of the Kingdom. We can see her looking at a secret stone, and this location that we now is confirmed is the Great Plateau. So let's just continue.
Evil, one which future generations would call.
You can see some this in the background and some of that, like this. Then yeah, you can clearly tell that it's the Great Plateau. And let me just do something real quick, viewers. Okay, now continuing on with this video, we can see that there's this building here in the Great Plateau. Then the sequence of events, I can go back to the beginning, and it kind of tells that sequence of events.
When the Zonai, who descended from the heavens.
Yeah, it says Zonai descended from the heavens, which people are saying that they actually descended from the heavens, or some say that they came from Skyloft, which that might be a whole entire theory video for a different day, but yeah. Joined hands with the Hylians, who dwelled on the surface. Yeah, you can see how all these Hylians are just praising the mighty Zonai.
with the Hylians,
You can see some of the locations.
who dwelled on the surface. Their
When Sonia and Rauru met each other, and then they became the first king and queen.
union led to a great and prosperous kingdom. But in
And then Ganon was sought to seek more power and take control. So he oofed Sonia and took her secret stone. Which I don't know how Ganon killed Sonia, because I only seen her get like punched in the back, I thought, which I honestly don't think would kill someone. But apparently she died. And her sacred stone is gone. And then he becomes the Demon King with his power of gloom.
a war was fought to vanquish this evil.
And she talks about the war, which is the whole point of the game, Imprisonment War.
Future generations would call the Imprisoning War.
Yeah, this is definitely like that one location in Great Plateau. Forgot what it's called. Like, is it like Forest of Spirits, something like that? I need to go back to Tears of the Kingdom and get those locations' names, but that's what that place is.
You truly have traveled back.
And then you can clearly tell this is the Great Plateau. You can just see all these beautiful trees, see that Zonai architecture, and then you can see something in the background, which I don't know if that's the original Hyrule Castle, just some hill or mountain in the background, or is that just the Temple of Time?
In time.
So this is when Zelda would wake up.
So
that's the original Hyrule Castle with the pillars, which, and then the castle itself. So I feel like the castle might be the main hub of the game, because that's where we see Zelda mainly take place. She mainly takes place in the castle, or on missions, or in Mineru's place, which we don't know if Mineru's place is in the castle or just somewhere else. So we're gonna find that out.
Then that must mean this really is the past.
Yeah, I went into this discussion on the other video, and it looks like there's buildings here, so I don't know who built these buildings, probably the Hylians, but that got burnt down. Don't know where this is though. Trees. It would be good to know where this is. So anyway, this event is when the blood moon rises from Demon King's army from that one memory. This is that, but this is when all the characters actually start to fight and have to try and survive against the blood moon and waves of enemies from the Demon King army. So yeah, that is all this here. I don't know what location this is, but yeah, I went into detail about that in the other video. And that. So if you guys haven't seen it, you can go check out that other video, which is called Zelda Hyrule Warriors Possible Weapons and Attacks, or something like that. Anyway, the deaths. So I don't know when this event takes place, but yeah, we're definitely gonna be going to the deaths a little to maybe even a lot in Age of Imprisonment, but the deaths are definitely gonna be a part of it. Oh yeah, look at that eye. Oh. Then we see more of this blood moon in the background, and Zelda trying to fight back as well, using her newfound powers. Then all the sages together. Talked about that more in the other video. And yeah, that kind of concludes that trailer. Now for the other one. I just want to take into detail that is that the Temple of Time? Because that means the Temple of Time or something right there is really close to the original castle. And also there's a building right there. So there's going to be a lot of new areas and buildings to see in Zelda Age of Imprisonment, because we got the original Hyrule Castle, which already looks amazing and fascinating by itself. Then you got this mysterious building over here. You got this building right here. Then you got that over there. And then these two are walking. And this is after Zelda changed her outfit. Then this is when Hyrule either makes the mask or just grants the mask to the Sage of Fire. Then we see Hyrule and Sonia doing the exact same pose they do in the shrines. So I don't know what that might be. I think maybe they're getting the power of light through this. Like Zonai light. Or just something like that, because it definitely looks like they're doing a spell or seance with this, because it's the exact same thing they do in the shrine with their statues of Sonia and Hyrule.
Given an opening, he will bear his fame.
Then this just looks very cinematic, but when the blood moon comes, all this gloom comes out of nowhere, and then just it just takes control, and then all these gloom balls just appear, and then they just turn into enemies, I guess. And you can see more of that blood moon, and now we're in the region with Gorons, with Death Mountain and all that.
Until Hyrule itself.
Now wait, if I go back, that's the Temple of Time. Temple of Time. Temple of Time. No, wait,
He will bear his fangs.
I don't exactly remember the location or name of this, but it looks like there's bones here. So whatever that location is with the bones, you know, like, but isn't it by Zora's Domain and either Hateno Village, that area with a bunch of bones? I think that might be this place, or just a place sweet somewhere else.
Until Hyrule.
But yeah, that's definitely, if I can pause better. Yeah, that's definitely the Temple of Time right there. So we're gonna see the Temple of Time.
Until Hyrule itself.
And then we can see this circle ring with Death Mountain with its huge smoke plug, which is the biggest one we've seen in any Zelda game, I think. Oh my gosh, okay. Then we see more evidence that's the Great Plateau, because it shows the same stone that Link gets on in Breath of the Wild. Then we have all these rich rock formations. Then this is again when all of the Demon King's army is forged, when he gets his sacred stone and the blood moon rises. Then we see the deaths, and this is them fighting back with
we face
comboing and then using Zonite devices. Then I don't know where they are. No, they're in the depths, so this is going to be an interesting place to check out when the game drops. But it looks like they're going somewhere, but we don't know where. Looks like that's something from a different game. If you guys might know it. But anyway, we can see that they're definitely in a different location in the depths. I don't know when this takes place because we don't know much about the game, but it looks like we got all these Zonai ruins or just places in the background, or even monster places, because we can see this statue right there. So that's going to be interesting. And then we can see them manhandling a bunch of people. Then all the different... Okay, let me break this down. Ooh, I can see a wall from Gerudo in the background, so that means this is someplace in the Great Plateau with the bridge, and then some random Hylian house or something. Then I don't know if this is in the Great Plateau or somewhere else, but it looks like the water's brown and swampy, so I would think that maybe it's in the Great Plateau, or maybe it's somewhere else, but I don't know. Then we got all these bokoblins and moblins just wrecking this place because all the trees are barren, and then even the buildings are destroyed. You can see here that the sky is still red from the blood moon. Then we can see the characters fighting back from the Demon King's army during the blood moon.
But you sought it from Hyrule.
Now we're in Gerudo, and we see that, like I said in the other video, that either the Sage of Lightning is proving herself to Rauru as the Sage of Lightning, or the Sage of Lightning is just doesn't really care and tries to fight Rauru, but then Rauru might make peace. Like that's what's happening here. So that's when the Sage of Lightning first gets, I guess, summoned. Like, her power comes into play.
There is danger here. Enormously so.
And for the millionth time, we shall get to see the sacred sea. So, yeah, this area is in depths because you can clearly tell that these roots are in the depths, and that this Zonai temple, which uses Raru's hand, but I don't know if Rauru can even open the door still with all the roots cracked into it. And then, yeah, more evidence that's in the depths because these mushrooms only grow in the depths. And then, I don't know when this takes place in the game, but all we know that this is either going to be a playable character or just a character in the story. But we have this character, which this character is clearly has a bunch of associations and details and hint that they're the ancient hero, but some people say otherwise. That's fine. You guys can tell me in the comments below. I still personally believe it's the ancient hero, but you guys can believe what you want to believe. But that's what's happening here, and then he just gets made. And that's the second trailer. Now let's talk about other things, like, let's see here. You have with this image, I don't know when this takes place, but we do know it's when all sages are together, so it might be right before Ganon is imprisoned, or maybe this is when they got their sacred stones, because if you look, no, they already have their secret stones, so maybe they're walking out of the temple. Wait, yeah, this is clearly the temple, or I mean Forgotten Temple, because it has that curve and this plot right here, so that means you're walking out of the forgotten temple, and they got all their sacred stones. Then you just can see all these different images here, blah blah blah, like yeah. You can see here Great Plateau, all these events, and here I can even search up and let's see here. Hyrule Warriors, Age of Imprisonment, take place in a distant past during the era of myth, focusing on the imprisoning war that occurred long before the events of The Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom. It tells the canonical story of the ancient conflict, featuring Princess Zelda's journey to ancient Hyrule to meet her ancestors King Rauru and Sonia, and combat the forces of Ganondorf. Era myth. The game is set in a time so distant, but the events are often considered closer to legend than the fact. The Imprisoning War. The story centers on the conflict between Zelda, Rauru, Sonia, and Ganondorf's army, which led to the events of stealing Ganondorf, and the events documented in ancient Hylian records. Canonical story. Age of Imprisonment is a canonical story within the Zelda timeline, proving the origins of the Imprisoning War that was only led to it in Tears of the Kingdom. Then I can also search up locations for Zelda Age of Imprisonment include ancient Hyrule Castle on the Great Plateau, like I said, the Zonai mining facilities and contract factory in the depths, the Forgotten Temple, yep, said all those, the areas within Zora's domain, said that with the sludge. The games will show the Great Plateau as it's the era of King Raru's kingdom, when it was known as the Garden of Time. Great Plateau, Garden of Time. This area features prominently as it's the site of King Raru's kingdom and the location of the Zonai Temple of Time. Depths. Players will explore the depths, where they can find mining facilities and contract factory. Forgotten Temple. Another key location, the Forgotten Temple, also appears in the game. Hyrule Castle. Players will see Hyrule Castle, both inside and out, during the founding years of Hyrule. Zora's domain. While the exact location within Zora's domain isn't specified, it's noticed that Princess Zelda travels to the Zora stage to explain her plans after the Imprisoning War. She does that with all sages, so should not be every location then. But those are some of the locations. And I can also search up one other thing. Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment is a spin-off game set during the ancient Imprisoning War, a canonical event that the Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom's lore. In this game, Princess Zelda travels to a distant past and encounters her ancestors King Rauru and Queen Sonia of the ancient Zonai civilization, as Zelda learns to control her newly awakened power over time. but Gerudo King Ganondorf attacks, triggering the war that would ultimately lead to Ganondorf's imprisonment in the eventual founding of Hyrule. A different Link. Unlike other Hyrule titles, Age of Imprisonment is a canonical story, and the events will directly follow the lower tiers of the kingdom, which has no Link in that ancient era. Unless that Link was the Link before Link, which we know as the Ancient Hero. Focus on Zelda. The game centers around Princess Zelda's journey into the past and her efforts to understand and utilize her powers to combat Ganondorf, according to the story. The Imprisoning War. The core conflict is the Imprisoning War, a battle between the focus of the Demon King Ganondorf and the ancient Zonai, which culminates in a great-sealing canonical tale. The events of Age of Imprisonment will directly lead to the events of The Legend of Zelda, Tears of a Kingdom, which involves the aftermath of the Imprisoning War and sealing of the Demon King. Well, if there's anything I missed, you can leave a comment of what I missed and I can make another video of that, but I think that might be it for this video. So make sure to like and subscribe, leave a comment down below, and make sure to hit that notification bell if people even do that. And hey, stay cosmic.